Hey, yo. Yeah, so I'm very, very tired and I'm not feeling very motivated today to really do much of anything. But I've told myself I'm going to do it 3 days a week, so I'm going to do it. So, what I want to do today is try to figure out how I can make this setup portable. And what I mean by that is had a long discussion with my buddy Kyle, and it seems like the only thing that makes sense, since I want to play live shows eventually, is to set this thing up in such a way that it is already portable. The primary problem here, the pulsar would not be included, just for, just for information. The pulsar would not be included, but I could potentially use everything else. Smallest possible setup would just be OP1, virus, and rhythm. But I can see a great value in including the micro freeze. I mean, it sounds good, right? Especially when you run it through a really nice distortion pedal. So I'm just going to kind of talk out the dilemma. I remember the first thing that I wanted to research was sorry, I got stuck here because I'm just realizing now that my micro freak does not have an input for the vocoder, and I thought that it did, but it doesn't. So that's fine. Yes, I remember now. What I was going to do was investigate first if the OP1 has a stereo or mono input. I have, because I'm just now remembering this, I've left the manual out of this room. I'm going to grab it. Be right back. Haven't found it yet. Getting close. Mm-mm. I'm going to sit. Nope. Not seeing any information yet. Here we go. God damn it. It just says audio in. Yep. This was my fear, that it would not tell you this. Audio in. Doesn't seem to say. I guess there's a couple ways that this could be checked. The approach that I'm going to go with, because I'm a weirdo, is I think that the back panel can be very easily opened. One second, I got to stop this. Goodbye. I believe that the back panel can be opened. And why would it turn on? It was just off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this can be opened. I have one of those like iPhone opening tools, but not nearby. Son of a bitch. Yeah, anyway, the point of this inquiry to begin with is to determine what my routing options are. Okay, I'm going to get the iPhone kit, opening kit. I'll be back. Anyway, the reason I'm choosing to open this is because I could just look at the way that it's soldered and see if it matches the stereo output. While yes, of course, there ultimately is an easier solution of like doing some Googling, I really just don't feel like doing that right now. The alternative also is to convert the output of something into a cable, a mini cable, which this can receive, and then try panning and seeing what happens. All right, while I'm pretty sure that back panel can be opened, I'm not positive and it's not budging. So I'm less inclined to keep doing that inquiry. So what I'm going to do is just switch the inputs and outputs from the virus. And this way, I can probably pan the virus pretty easily. Probably, I'd have to look at how it's set up. The patch that I'm going to use, whatever that is. Okay, let's find a basic patch real quick that works, and then we can switch. You know what? I can just plug that into output 3, and then it doesn't even matter. Yeah, okay, I'll do that now. Perhaps now you can see why I'm actually not very interested in doing this right now. I also just realized now I don't have another cable that I need to be able to connect this, so this isn't really going to work. So the final result is to do Googling. Least favorite option of all the options. Seems the answer is that the input is mono, output is stereo. So the problem is the The problem is that I run the microfreak through a stereo delay pedal. So then it becomes stereo. I could skip that pedal and then it would stay, or I can use that pedal in a mono mode, which also would work. And then run that as an input into the OP1. So microfreak and OP1 are together. So that would be like drum and synthesis plus recording, and instrument. And then if these two run together in parallel, that would be like bass and drum. And then yeah, so the setup that I keep thinking makes the most sense is micro freak mono out into OP1 mono in, stereo out of OP1 into stereo in on the virus, stereo out of the virus, one dedicated stereo out of the virus for the OP1 and the micro freak, and one stereo out dedicated to the internal synths. So this gives me 4 cables, 2 stereo outs, and then the mofo into the rhythm. Yeah, then I'm already at 6. I don't like that setup. I'm going to get a pen and paper. You can see now why I didn't really want to do this. I'm quite tired, and this is not the most fun activity I can do with all this equipment, but I had a lot of other stuff to do today, so this right now is the most important thing to me to solve. Okay, let's talk big picture here. Like, why do I want to simplify this in this way? The main thing is to cut out a mixer. I don't like having a mixer of my own that I have to bring around. Mostly just because the size of this particular mixer is quite large. It is like the size of the virus and the rhythm combined almost. It's quite large. But I don't know if there's a better mixer solution unless I simplify the routing between the synthesizers themselves. So it seems like there still is a benefit of doing this. I one, don't want to bring a computer with me anytime I play a show, period. I hate having a computer. It's too, I don't know, unreliable and chaotic and whatever. I don't like it. And the next thing is I want to simplify the setup. I don't want to bring a mixer. I don't want to have to set up that many cables every time in that kind of special configuration every time, because I don't know of a setup that's large enough to house everything. I'm sure it probably exists, but I am not yet aware of it. So maybe that's something I can consider. But I mean, there's just so much stuff here right now. I really don't want to I really want to cut out some stuff. That's really the goal here. I really want to cut out some stuff. Okay, in spirit of cutting some stuff out, I'm just going to remove the pulsar. I'm just going to get it out of the way. By the way, if it wasn't already clear, I really doubt there's going to be any music tonight. This is mostly just for me to force myself to keep my promise to myself that I will do a live stream that involves this setup. And the thing that I've been thinking about since getting back from the States has been how to simplify it in such a way to take it on the road, play some shows. And I want to solve that because then I want to, every time I play with the system, every time after that, it's working toward a real world setup, not just this studio setup. And therefore I can construct songs in a way that are consistent with the way I would want to keep things. So, 1 second. Okay. So now that I've removed one synthesizer from this configuration, the next logical question is there another one that I can remove from the equation? And to me, the obvious answer is the microfreak. But the reason for that is because I haven't had enough time with the microfreak to really know how to use it. And I feel that it has a lot of potential. And I don't think that I should rule it out because I haven't had enough time to actually learn how to use it. That doesn't seem like a valid reason to rule it out. So what I'm thinking is to force it into this new configuration so that I can try to use it and get a better understanding of it. And hopefully, ultimately, want to keep it in the setup. Well, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, literally, and keep going where I was going before with this. So the issue here is that the rhythm has two inputs that both kind of suck. Yeah. And it's got a fuck ton of outputs. I mean, it's got the main outs, but then it's got an out for each of the voices, so that's a total of like 10 outs, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah. 10 outs, plus headphones. But I think I would only use the main outs for this portable setup. For a studio setup, I would not do that. I would do more. I would route things differently, I think. So right now the mofo is routed into the rhythm and it's working. The OP1 is routed into the virus and it's working. Now what I would need to do is route the output from the delay foot pedal into the input on the OP1. And that's more or less a finished thing. Less than ideal, but it's okay. I'm going to try to find I'm going to first put the pulsar away so I don't like accidentally knock it over or something stupid. And then I'm going to look for my cable. And then start doing some routing from the foot pedals and see if I can get this set up tonight. Because I think that if I got this set up and I did a quick test run of how everything sounds and works, that to me sounds like a victory, and it sounds sufficient to call it a night. I'm quite exhausted. So I've been jet lagged since coming back from America to Germany, and I can't seem to get a good night's rest. So I'm really struggling here. Friday was a lot of fun and chaos, and the stream worked really well. But yeah, yesterday and today, it's really catching up with me. It's really catching up with me. Next time, I could be interested in doing some CV routing and seeing how that works out, because I'm not sure how I could use it right now, but I'm very interested to see if there is a way that I could use it. All right. Now for the cable. So there is one coming out of the piano because I was trying to route the piano. But I kind of want to keep that here. But ultimately, maybe that just won't work. Because I don't know where the second one went. I thought it was right by here, but frankly, I don't feel like digging around in the cable bag again. So I'm just going to take this one out of the piano. Now, I have a small issue. It's very small, but I just don't know if this cable is long enough. It seems like it is. Let me give it a go. Okay. We're looking good here. Yeah, it reaches no problem. And I also realize now that I have not been using this in stereo anyway, so this doesn't matter, which is nice. Okay, so now I should be able to play. Well, it's working. yeah, so it's definitely working. Seems like a good setup. There's obviously more fine tuning that needs to be done. A lot of work on the rhythm. A lot of work on the rhythm. But yeah, it works. So for me, this is a success. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. So thanks for tuning in and listening to my ridiculous ramblings. And yeah, I'll catch you